welcome back to my channel today, and we are doing a brand new Sims 4 speed build today. And so today we are back better than ever with a brand new build that I honestly thought I would never do, but you guys suggested that I should build a bus converted into a tiny home. But I took that idea and made something really interesting where it's the same idea except it's a bus converted into a tiny home restaurant where your Sims can actually purchase this lot but also live on it, because I added in a Murphy bed, a small little office, along with a living room and a bathroom that your Sims can use. But however, I realized that if you're going to live here and you're going to run your restaurant out of it, I need to put a actual public restroom area on the side of the lot. So I added that in at the end of the video, or I'm going to add it later on my own spare time before I upload to the gallery. And I also need to replace the Murphy bed, because the one that I placed down in this build was the one that actually kills your Sims. Because if you didn't know, there are actually 3 types of Murphy beds. But except I think one of them actually is a little bit malfunctioning, and it gets a little bit wonky sometimes where it might, smush your Sims left and right like a sandwich on a Sunday morning. But nevertheless, it is so much fun to be able to create something that I haven't done before, because I was looking through Pinterest and I was looking through YouTube and looking at different ideas that I wanted to do for the longest time on my content book that I usually look at every periodically when I have the time to do it. But I decided to go on Discord, and a lot of you guys actually put a lot of suggestions on there on what type of builds I should do on stream, on Twitch, or do it for a video. Because normally what I do, if I do a build on stream, I end up making it as a YouTube video anyway, because, content baby content. But that's just me. And if you guys have any more suggestions for builds or videos or let's plays or whatever, and also it doesn't have to be Sims related either. It could be like a sit down Q&A video or something like that. And if you have that suggestion, make sure you guys join the Discord. The link is down below in the description, but also in the comments, so you can click on it and join. We are a forever growing squad over there in the Spring Squad. It's a great time, let me tell you. I think you all should definitely join if you haven't done it already. So, as we get into this build, I have to say that this one probably took me the longest to do, because I'm not really, that skillful in making a bus per se in The Sims. Even though we can't really drive cars, drive buses, we can't really drive anything in the game besides bikes, boats, and something else in The Sims 4. And I had to use my imagination, because I watch a lot of videos on YouTube for, just for funsies, to watch if I'm working on a build or, just trying to relax at least. Because on my spare time, if I have spare time, when I'm trying to do, create a sim or do a build, or just like working on like random stuff for projects I need to get done sooner rather than later, I have been watching a lot of like art vlogs and art studio vlogs lately. But if I'm looking for inspiration for a build that I want to do, I usually look at sim builds. And my 2 friends, Simlessy and MsGryphi, are both are 2 talented people that I know personally, and I've met them in person. They're really, really nice. And if you guys want to check them out, I will leave their links down below in the description if you guys want to check out their builds. But I know for a fact that MsGryphi, she is like the talented queen, the talented builder at making small, tiny homes. And like she has like this challenge called the Squish that she does with her community, which is really, really cool. And I've always wanted to try it out myself, but I'm not really that skillful at it. But eventually I'll get there in the end. But this is like the first of many that I want to try and do, at least, and make a bus converted into a tiny home. And I looked at the one specifically that she did probably a couple months ago. It was an actual bus converted into a tiny home. I will leave that video down below so you know what I'm talking about, so you all know, what it looked like. And Simlissy, she was on the Sims Sparked with me along with other YouTubers. But if you guys watched an episode, I believe it was either the last or the 3rd episode, I can't really remember, but if you watched one of the episodes that she was in, was doing a challenge with Dr. Ashley, who's another YouTuber. She actually built a hippie bus converted to a tiny home. And I thought that was a really cool idea. And I tried my best to kind of fit all the bare necessities in this build, where you have a refrigerator, where like you have a part kitchen, a part living room, bedroom, and somewhat dining room in a way. Like, honestly, there is no dining room in this build because there's no way it's going to happen. So your Sims could technically eat outside if they wanted to, or they could sit on their bed and watch TV or sit at their desk, because I added in a Murphy bed, a little desk and computer, more of a laptop, so it's portable. I also added in a chair, a bookshelf, and a refrigerator. I did add in a stove because I haven't really used Dine Out since Dine Out came out. Like, it's been a very long time since I actually ever used Dine Out or built a restaurant utilizing this pack, because necessarily I think it's a great pack all in all, but it's, for me, I would love to have a way where I could hire my own relatives or friends or whoever I want to choose who I can hire, where you can like interact with that sim, and then you have like an option to say, I want to hire you, or do you want to work for me and such, because you have that option in The Sims 2 for open for business. And I thought that was like a really cool idea, that you could literally hire anyone you wanted, even off the street. I did that for Dina Caliente because she ran a business out of her home in The Sims 2, a Pleasant View. I'll make an update around that Pleasant View family later, but we're not talking about The Sims 2 today. We're talking about The Sims 4, and I have a lot to talk about in this video. But I wanted to kind of have an idea where, if you all remember the Wild Thornberries, where they had like a caravan bus, but they could transform it into a boat and kind of make it into another like motorhome in a way. And then also you think of the Magic School Bus, where it was a regular bus and it could turn into literally anything you ever wanted, and then it would convert back into a bus. So I had the idea of combining the Wild Thornberry inspiration and the Magic School Bus inspiration, where you have your restaurant, your restaurant on the side of your house, and if you want to kind of mosey on and move this lot somewhere else, you could press a single button on your dashboard, and it would take all the chairs, tables, rugs, and everything on the side and make it all flat, and then it would kind of retract back into the bus itself, and then you could just drive your little truck and mosey on to somewhere else if you wanted to. So that's kind of like the idea that I had in mind, even though we can't technically do that in the game per se. I like to have a bit of fun with my builds, where I can use my imagination and think outside of the box and do things that I necessarily haven't done before, or I haven't seen before in the game. And I kind of like that. And I think I want you guys to, this is a challenge. I want to challenge you all to a building challenge, not my shell challenges I do every single month of every day or something like that. I want to challenge you guys where you do something that you normally wouldn't do in The Sims, like whether you play with vampires for your typical gameplay. I want to challenge you game players to try out a different gameplay style that you don't necessarily do. And if you're a builder, I want to challenge you to build something that you don't necessarily build, that's outside of your comfort zone. Like whether you build, tiny homes, try and build a suburban medium-sized family home, or a bigger build on a budget or something like that. Like, don't go for the norm. Try something that you don't normally don't do something that you normally don't do in the game, if that makes any sense, if you know what I mean. Because like, I see a lot of things in the gallery where they're very, very similar, and like I don't see any like diversity in the builds or in the Sims. And I want to be able to have a way where I can look at the gallery and see, okay, I see a bit of variety. I see diversity. I see inclusion with, different, skin tones and, builds and backstories and, different body types and, age stages and stuff. I want to see a diversity amongst all the categories in the game, where I can, look at it saying, hey, that's really cool. I want to check that out even more. And that's what I technically look for builds on the gallery, or Sims on the gallery, that I sometimes use for inspiration, or I'll put them in my game just for the sake of a storyline that I kind of want to come up with and kind of go along with it, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's a challenge. I'll explain it in the description below so it's more easier to understand. But all in all, I want to challenge you to do something that you normally don't do in the game. Kind of just go outside of your comfort zone. Plain and simple. But anyway, back to the build. I tend to ramble a lot, I realize. But when I was building this, it took me a while to realize that with Dine Out, you can only go up to 5 stars. And the bigger your restaurant gets in ranking, I feel like the more customers you'll get. But I think that has to do with the perk points, most likely. However, I think I want to figure out a way where I can... I guess... How's that going to work? Because I'll have to play my save file, then make it something different. Because I don't want to play my save file before it's finished, because I want to be able to have a restaurant like this where it's either like a 2-star or a 3-star at least to, start it up. But then I might just leave it the way it is, where you guys just kind of do whatever and I'll just do it on my own, which will probably be easier that way. Because I don't think there is a cheat where you can change the star ranking or the customer reviews per se, which is a little bit like I need it. I want all access to everything so I can change the game however I want. Because if you didn't know, I'm working on a save file where everything is completely demolished and everything's made by me, where I make brand new townies and brand new sims. And I have this idea where I'm thinking of putting in one of my personal sim families that I've been playing with for the longest time. And you might know who they are. They're called the De Lusso family. They're an Italian-German family from Windenburg, and I've been playing them ever since we got Dine Out, and I feel like that their backstory really works well with the idea that I'm trying to go for, where there is actually one family in like 2 different neighborhoods that have at least 6 generations, and the De Lussos are actually one of them, and I'm going to be creating another one very soon, and I want to be able to have a multi-generational family home that I want to build and try out and see what I can do. And if you guys have any ideas for sims that I should make for the save file, whether, adding in different things that I've done before or I haven't done before, let me know in the Discord link down below. I plan to add in a lot of like diversity and inclusion to the different worlds, especially in Brindlin Bay. One of you guys actually suggested in a different build a while back ago that I should add an LGBTQ plus community center in Brindlin Bay, because if you didn't know, there is a same-sex couple named Brent and Brant Hecking, and they have a little pug, and they live in Brindlin Bay, and it's really, really cool, and I think they should be kind of like the leaders of that community center, where they help other, LGBTQ people along the way in that community in Brindlin Bay, or other, visiting neighborhoods, and they can help each other with resources or housing or whatever, and I want to be able to have something like that where all people belong. And I was playing this one game about this new game called Tell Me Why, and I really, really love this game so much. It just came out yesterday, and I don't even know, well, it came out 2 days ago. By the time you're watching this video, it came out 2 days ago on the 27th. And I was playing it on stream, and something about that game was like really good. It's made by the same people that made the Life is Strange franchise, and it tells a story about these 2 twins, Allison and Tyler, and the protagonist is Tyler, who's a transgendered man, and Allison and Tyler haven't seen each other in over 10 years after their mother's passing. And it's so crazy, and how story driven, and how the story is so detailed and has so much depth to it that you can like kind of relate to the characters and be able to connect with them, and you're so attached to them. And I feel like the game industry feels like, it's growing and it's getting better, but I feel like there should be a way where they're actually listening to their audience and actually listening to what they actually want, where you're being more diverse and more inclusive for all people, and not just like certain people. It wants for all people. Like The Sims is great. It's a great game. I love it so much. It's like my hardcore game I've been playing for 20 years, that I feel like there should be a way where I should be able to see myself in the game and not just, you know, a half par version of myself, if you know what I mean. So like I want to be able to have something that I can call my own, and something that I can be able to have, you know, be happy with, and have a way where I can not feel, you know, ashamed or about. If you like, do you know what I mean? Like I have a lot of feelings about the game, and I want to make The Sims so much better, but I just want to be able to have a way where, you know, everyone feels happy. And you can't really please everyone, but I want to have things that I want in the game that will make me me, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's just my spiel. But anyway, as you can see here, this is where the point where I started to figure out, wait a minute. Yeah. So I figured out that since I haven't played Dine Out in a very long time, I realized that you can actually use a stove as an actual stove. So I took out the stove of this build and kind of replace that little corner area with a chair, so your Sims could sit there while they eat their, you know, food, or they're reading a book, or playing on their tablet or whatever. And I was so close, so very close of adding a pet bed into this build. And I was thinking, oh no, I can't do that. That'd be too crazy. There would be no way and chance I'll make that work, because essentially you can't have an at-home business in The Sims without mods. And I realized that maybe a pet bed's not the way to go for a restaurant, because, you know, fleas, and, you know, the health department, you might get shut down and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, let's not do that for right now. So probably in the future, what I'll probably do is make it like a vet clinic, or something that is pet friendly, where you can bring your pet to work, or have like a company pet. Because I know that some places have, like, you know, their own little company pet, where they bring a pet that they own and bring it to the workplace with them as a mascot of the place that they, you know, work at, if that makes any sense. So now that we're at the end of the video, I wanted to show you guys the real-time build of this lovely bus converted into a tiny home restaurant. Because looking at a speed build, there's a lot going on, things are cut out, and you can't really see the full thing. So I thought it'd be kind of a good way to show you very slow and very chill real-time tour. And honestly, I have to say I had a lot of fun building this, because I don't necessarily build things like this on my channel. Like, if you look at my previous builds I've done, they're either suburban houses or random small houses on a big budget. And you don't normally see builds like this. And I want to start doing builds that I am more scared of doing, and try new things that I think look fun to do. Like, just random challenges I think are fun to do just for the fun of it. And so this is one of them. And it was really fun to experiment with, like, different landscaping and also different objects, and see what I can do to put them together to make one object. And this is what I came up with. And it fits so well in Oasis Springs, not gonna lie. Like, the way it just sits right here is just perfect. And if you guys want to download this on the gallery, it is up there. And everything is linked down below in the description, so you can get more info on where to find it and everything. But I will show you in this video either way. But over here, I have my dining room area where you can, or restaurant area, where your Sims can actually come here and reserve a table or pick a table of their choosing to figure out where they want to sit. But if your Sims have more than a party of 2, they can definitely sit over here in these picnic table areas and just chill. I'm pretty sure they only sit 4 Sims, but it might fit 6 Sims. I'm not really sure what the limitation of these are, because I never really actually tried myself. But if you know, leave them in the comments below so other people can figure out what it is. Either way, then over here I have my waiter station, so you can have your waiters take your plate and put it in here for, like, the dirty dishes to clean later. And over here is also the hostess station, so your Sims could, you know, get people seated. And eventually what I'll probably do, since there are only, I'm going to say 4, so 4, 8, 12, 16, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. So like 26 like seating places for your Sims to sit here. So if you have more Sims coming to your lot to like eat here, I would probably disallow some Sims or disallow some customers for the sake of time and also space. Unless you want to add more picnic tables over here, you can, just for the sake of more income for your business. By all means, go right ahead. It's up on the gallery. And then over here, I wanted to add in like a, what's it called? Like a chef's station, because I thought to myself, okay, I have a chef station, but I also need like a stove and like a fridge where I can put all my knickknacks and paddywhacks for my food for my Sims to eat here if they end up staying at their business overnight or a couple of days. Who knows? Later on, what I realized is that your Sims can actually cook on this without having the business being open, which is convenient and so great. So I left it here and it looked perfectly fine. I will remove this and clean it up later, but I have that there. It's pretty much plain and simple, nothing really exciting. And then over here is pretty much the main event of the build. So you have the Murphy bed, the stove, your little tiny office with your laptop. And then over here you have your chair, bookshelf, laundry, and then your TV/living room. And the Murphy bed does work, so everything is functional in this build. I'm going to just go ahead and actually have him put this down. So you can already see him just pressing the button, and it just folds right there, right then and there, and it works perfectly fine. Let's have him test it and see if he can sleep. And he can definitely sleep in this Murphy bed with no issues, which is so great. So if you guys want to download this build, everything works perfectly fine. Play tested it before, and I'm play testing it now. But as he sleeps for a minute, we have all of the bare necessities: kitchen, living room, bathroom, laundry room over here. But you can actually put your laundry in here, and then your Sims can go into the back and do their laundry if they need to. Which reminds me, I need to put one of the washer board tub things over here so your Sims can wash their clothes and then hang them up for a later date. So I gotta do that before I upload this build. So in case you want to download this build for your own personal gameplay, you can go to the gallery right now under the hashtag SpringSims, but my origin ID is also SpringSims as well. But if you don't have all the packs for yourself and you really want to know what items are from what pack, an easier way I figured out to do it is go to any build or any sim on the gallery of your choosing, click on an icon of a pack that you see, and then click Show Use Items, and then it will tell you what item and what object is from that pack that you have clicked on. It's so easy and so convenient to showcase all like the packs that was used in that build, because if you don't have all the packs and you see like probably like 2 items from a build that you particularly don't want in the build, you're not really missing anything out of it. So you'll be perfectly fine if you click on the icon for yourself, click Show Use Items. It will tell you. Like for instance, Parenthood. I only used 1 item from Parenthood, and that was the desk. And I could have used a different one, but if you don't have Parenthood, you're not really missing much. It's just a simple desk. You're not really missing the hype about it. For the desk, you can use something else to replace it. And so that is one simple and easy way to figure out what items are from what pack, just in case if you don't have all the packs disposable to you, whether you're on console or PC or Mac. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below as always, and I will see you guys all in the very next video. Bye!